Alright, now we're going to go over loading your 100 ml sample vessel. We've got a sample bag full of our product. I'm going to go ahead and take your strings, tie it off, a couple little knots in there. These are reusable bags. So just like simple knots. Take your sample, go ahead. We've already got our lid off. Sample vessel. Use that down into the vessel. One thing you want to make sure is that the strings are well out of the sealing area so that they don't get caught in the threads of the vessel when you put the lid back on. So we got that good and tamped down in there. Take your lid. You want to inspect the threads every time you do this. Make sure that there's a little bit of lubrication on there. We use food grade anti-seize on there, just a little bit. Make sure that you're not running this dry. Make sure it's lubricated every time. Maybe a little bit on the sealing, the O-ring as well. So it doesn't take a whole lot, but just make sure that there's definitely something there. So prevent the lid from getting stuck and galling the threads up. So we've got that lubricated, we've got our sample bag in place in the vessel, the strings are pushed down out of the way. Make sure they're good and out of the way. And you take your lid. This is a hand tight operation. Typically there's no tools involved, so you can see there's a lot of threads. So you got to start turning, should go down pretty easy. Keep turning till it stops. You don't have to put a big wrench on it. You'll know when it happens. So you can see the gap is closing up all the way down. It just stops. So you're good to go. You don't need to put any wrenches on it to build pressure. Next thing we're going to do is connect the tube. So it's our 1/8 inch instrument tubing nut. Goes right on there. Take a couple 7/16 wrenches. You want to hold the fitting there. Tighten down. Just a 1/8 to a 1/4 turn on that, and you're good to go. You don't have to tighten too hard on that, just enough to maintain the seal. At this point, you're ready to go ahead and process your sample. Build your pressure, flow. Go ahead and so once you're done that, you can go ahead and vent. You've run your sample, vent the system down. You want to make sure that pressure gauge is down to 0 before you try and open the vessel. To remove your sample, it's the opposite of the procedure we just did. Take a couple wrenches, hold on to there, crack that fitting open. Pop out of the way, and again, hand tight operation. You should be able to take that off. If it's a little tight, we do provide the strap wrench. You can wrap that around the band here, the top of the vessel lid. Pull that out. And you're ready to retrieve your bag for the next run.